where do you start when you feel like you're living a life with no purpose, especially when you feel like you have no hopes or dreams or goals, but you really want them? I've been there, and I feel like we search for purpose or meaning in the wrong places. Like when I was about to finish high school and everyone else sort of knows what they want to do with their life, I really didn't. I struggled with that a lot because I felt like I had no purpose in life. And when you feel that way, it can be very overwhelming, isolating, and really dark. And the best piece of advice that I got was from my dad. And he said that even though like I don't know what I want to do, I need to try and build on my skills, because when you have skills, you gain value. And for a very long time, I strived for purpose and meaning in my career. And for a very long time, I strived for purpose and meaning in my career. In every retail job that I had, I was never interested in becoming manager or like going further, which may have been like the wrong mindset, because I feel like moving up the ranks, it also provides you with like new experiences and extra skills. But I felt like it just wasn't something that I wanted. And it was nothing more than a job to make money and kind of use like as a stepping stone to eventually do what I was passionate about, which I was like still figuring out. But the point is, at that time, it was so confusing. Okay, when you're a 20-year-old and you feel like you're running out of time to achieve things, and you just become really stressed out, and a lot of the time we try and find purpose in our jobs. Our purpose as humans tend to be a bit deeper than just our like surface level aspirations. If you are struggling to find your purpose in life, you literally might be looking in the wrong place and expecting too much and then being disappointed. So I feel like my purpose in life is to make people feel less alone, and to also show them all of their potential and the good that they have within them. And sure, like that sounds super cringe. I literally don't care. I just feel like in my core, like that is my purpose. And I've also been able to like integrate that into the things that I do, which is my YouTube content, or writing a book about mental health, podcasting, starting a brand that centers around self-development and continuous learning in life. That gives me some sense of purpose, knowing that all of the stuff that I've experienced in life, I'm now able to like use those lessons and like help guide someone through a hard time, or be a friend to someone if they feel alone, or lift someone up if they aren't feeling that confident about themselves. And what I do through the things that I've mentioned truly feeds my soul. However, this purpose extends beyond just a career or like making money from it, through other things, like maybe meeting someone at my favorite smoothie spot and like giving them a compliment, or paying for my items at the grocery store when you like spark a conversation with someone that might make their day, like listening to something that my friend needs help with. Like my purpose isn't something attached to my career. It's something that gives me purpose. It feeds my soul. It goes beyond just a career. It's just in me, which I try to apply in every area of my life. Like I'm not doing anything spectacular. Okay, like I'm not like a trained dietitian or a doctor or anything special. I just hope to help people and be a comfort and someone that can uplift you or like guide you. So if you feel like you have no purpose and no goals to strive for, my advice would be start from the most basic point, which is asking yourself, what do I enjoy doing? When do I feel the most fulfilled? What do I want my life to look like in the next 10 years? Try to find that simple foundation of what you simply enjoy. And it doesn't need to be something big and spectacular, because I feel like we add so much pressure onto ourselves to have this big purpose, or to literally have like the ability to like move mountains. And it doesn't need to be this like extravagant thing. It can literally just be living life on a beautiful farm with like the love of your life. When it comes to my purpose of like wanting to make people feel worthy and comforted, well, that I'm able to bring into every area of my life, no matter what my career path is. And it's broad enough and vague enough to be attached to anything, and something that gives my life meaning. So don't put pressure on yourself because your actual purpose is different than your actual structured goals, like how much money you want to make or starting a business, it's different than like your actual career path. And I feel like our purpose in life should be more broad, like wanting to make people laugh and wanting to make people happy and making friends with a lot of people. It could literally be anything. The next dilemma a lot of us tend to face, which is what do we do if we have a lot of interests? How do we decide which one to pursue? That's the beautiful thing about life, which is trying new things. So try out each interest that you are passionate about. For example, if you like teaching yoga, but you also like to design clothes, and you also have a passion for playing tennis. This is literally all of my favorite things, but you get the vibe I'm like going for. Basically, try them all out, whether that is getting a part-time job working in the fashion space as like a fashion editor, or an intern, or writing a fashion column for a digital magazine, or maybe working on your tennis game every day and then doing a yoga teacher training course and working at your local yoga studio to like build up your hours and experience. So if you have the luxury, give yourself a year to like try each of those interests out. And if perhaps you don't have the time to try everything out at this stage in your life, literally rate each passion and ask yourself which passion makes the most sense to stay as like a hobby and which passion has the potential to become a successful career. So literally analyze them all. And success looks different for everyone. For some, it's about how much money you make, the car that you drive. For some, it is the quality of life and having a good work-life balance. So take your interests, rate them, choose ones that, sound more lucrative as like a full-time career. Even do the others as like a side thing, just because it makes you happy, and you might be able to get to doing it full-time one day, which is great. It's so different for everyone, but it's good to look at our interests and decide which one would be the best job, because some things are more enjoyable by just remaining a hobby. And realistically, obviously, like we have to eat. We have to pay rent. We have bills to pay. And some of us don't have the luxury to experiment in a full-time capacity. So be realistic about your choices, but at the same time, if something truly brings you joy and you have the drive for it, dedicate your time to figuring out how to make it work and pursue your dreams. I honestly hate it like sometimes when people are so pessimistic about pursuing things that make you happy, and the fact that they say like, is it realistic? Is it going to be something that you're able to like do full time? Well, how do you know that you can't without even trying? Okay. So like, don't let the naysayers like hold you back and like put negativity in your brain and like make you not want to do something just because they obviously, maybe they care about you and that's why they're like obviously explaining what the real reality of the situation is. But I feel like you also need to come from a place of like, you know what, if I'm able to think it, I'm able to do it. And if I don't try something, how am I ever going to know that it's not going to work? And if I'm able to see that it's worked for other people, why can't it work for me? So it clearly is not out of my realm of like achievement. So that is why it's so important to focus on things that make you happy. Be honest with yourself, obviously. Understand that reality is what it is, but try and make it work. At least give it a go. And in that way, you're either going to succeed or you're going to fail and you're going to gain something from that. We sometimes forget how important it is to actually map things out and analyze what would work and what wouldn't work, instead of just not doing anything and simply feeling lost in life. Sometimes the start of having purpose is the simple act of taking action and just starting. And sometimes we don't get that intuitive feeling about something. Like sometimes it's good to like sit yourself down, make yourself some coffee, and write down a list of your passions, where you actually want to go in life, and what you actually want to do in life, and what is going to be the most fulfilling decision for you. You might fail, and then all you have to do is like just scrap that and go down a different direction. Like, don't just give up so easily. Like, I literally give myself 4 tries, okay? Like, if I fail 4 times and I know that I've tried my best at something, it's just obviously not meant to be. I'm going to try a different direction. I'm going to move in a different path. but I'm not just going to give up after the first try. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, I love hanging out with you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcast episodes every Wednesday. I love you, okay? Have an amazing week. Peace.